62 million men in 1 month, visiting a single website that taught them how to drug and rape women without getting caught. Excuse me, what? That is so crazy. And that's not a fringe group, okay? That's not a few disturbed individual in a dark corner of the internet. That's a stadium filled over and over and over again with men who showed up voluntarily to learn how to assault women or watch other men do it. And we need to talk about it. I need to talk about it because I think we need someone to say out loud what a lot of us are feeling and thinking, but don't quite have the words for yet. In April 2026, CNN published an investigation exposing what they called a global online rape academy. Not my words, theirs. The site hosted over 20,000 user-uploaded videos of women who were asleep, sedated, filmed without consent, and some of those videos had 50,000 views. Yeah, not 50, 50,000. And it didn't stop at passive consumption. Users were live streaming assaults. Yeah, in real time. This is not a horror movie. This is not fiction. This actually happened. It's so mind-blowing and devastating. And of course, it is happening. It doesn't stop just because the website has been outed. And it's probably not the only place where it takes place. And 62 million people with a primarily US audience, unfortunately, showed up to participate in some form or other. I want you to really absorb that because I think our brains want to file this under unthinkable and move on. And I refuse to let us do that today. Now, I know that some people are going to say, not all men. And here's the thing, I want to be intellectually honest because that matters to me. I cannot prove with absolute certainty that every single one of those 62 million visitors were male. I'm a therapist, not a data scientist. But let's be brutally, honestly real. Who do we think is visiting a website that teaches men, and I quote, how to drug and rape women? Who do we think is paying $20 a pop to watch a live-streamed assault? Who do we think are uploading those videos? Even if generously 10% of those visitors were women, we're still looking at 55 million men in 1 month on one website. Not all men has functioned for decades as an escape hatch. The moment a woman raises something systemic, something about patterns, about culture, about what it feels like to move through the world in a female body, someone derails the conversation by making it about individual guilt. I would never do that, or don't paint us all with the same brush, or that's not fair. And here's what I want to say to the men who use that argument. This is not about you personally. This is about the culture you live in, benefit from, and whether you intend to or not, help maintain through your silence. Because here's the psychological reality. A culture that produces 62 million monthly visitors to a rape tutorial website is not an accident. It is built brick by brick through normalization, through pornography that eroticizes non-consent, through jokes that get laughed off, through boys who are never taught that women are fully human, worth respecting, through men who know what other men are doing and say nothing. Interestingly, and I want to acknowledge this, some men are saying so themselves now. In the aftermath of this investigation, men on social media have been posting that they no longer hide behind not all men, that the scale makes the argument untenable. That something has to change. Yes. And that matters. That is a crack in the wall. And I want to honor that, while also saying it took 62 million men on a rape website for that conversation to start. Think about that. Think about what that tells us. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I talk a lot about women who have spent decades shrinking themselves, making themselves smaller, more palatable, less threatening, trusting too easily, ignoring their instincts because they've been told their instincts were too much. This story is not separate from that. Do you remember the choose the bear conversation we had last year? Women were asked, if you were alone in a forest, would you rather encounter a strange man or a bear? And the overwhelming answer from women across the world was the bear. Men were baffled, hurt, offended. How can you say that? Not all men are dangerous. And women tried to explain, the calculation isn't about whether any individual man is dangerous. It's about the fact that we cannot tell. You do not have it tattooed in your forehead whether you are trustworthy or not. We've been trained by experience, by statistics, by the stories we carry in our bodies to treat male strangers as potential threats. And it's not because we hate men. I love men. It's because we have learned, and very often the hard way, that the cost of getting it wrong is catastrophic. This story is why women choose the bear. And for us in midlife, women who have decades of navigating this world behind us, I want to say something directly. Your instincts were never wrong. The hypervigilance that you developed was not paranoia. It was a rational response to a world that, as it turns out, contains 62 million men visiting a website like this in a single month. Your body knew, your gut knew, and you were gaslit out of trusting it. That is worth grieving, and it's worth getting angry about. I refuse to end this video in despair, not because I want to soften what I've just told you. I don't want to do that. But because despair is static, and we cannot afford to be static if we want to live a life of joy and unfolding. We cannot let that get stuck in our nervous system. So here's what I think we do. And I'm speaking to everyone watching, women and the men with enough integrity to be sitting with discomfort right now. To the women, trust your instincts, not theoretically, actually. When something feels off about a person, a situation, a dynamic, listen to it. You have been conditioned to override that signal in the name of being nice, being fair, not wanting to assume the worst. Stop overriding it. Your safety is more important than anyone's comfort. Talk about it, not just in whispers. Talk about it out loud with your daughters, with young women in your life, not to terrify them, but to arm them with reality so that they can navigate it with their eyes open. Stop making it comfortable for men to be silent. If the men in your life are not talking about this, ask them why. Make the silence visible. And for men, the ones who are watching this, who are uncomfortable, who are sitting with something, the discomfort you're feeling, please don't run from it. Please don't try to make it go away. This discomfort is information, and it means something in you recognizes that this is not okay. That recognition is the beginning of something. It's an important discomfort. Stop waiting for women to fix this. This is a male culture problem. It requires a male culture solution. Call it out in your circles. Raise your sons differently. Stop excusing the men you know that who dehumanize women, even when it's just a joke. Speak up, and don't speak up kindly. Say, shut up, don't talk like that. Be firm, be assertive. The men who are speaking up right now, who are saying, I can't use not all men anymore, they are showing what is possible. Join them. I started this channel because I believe in radical self honesty. I believe that the truth, even when it's painful, even when it's inconvenient, even when it makes people uncomfortable, is always the starting point for something else and something better. This is the truth. We live in a world where 62 million men visited a website teaching sexual assault in a single month. That's where we are. And this is also the truth. Something is cracking open. The exposure happened. The journalism was done. Men are reckoning publicly with what they can no longer deny. Women are done pretending they don't know what they know. That is also where we are. We don't get to choose the world we're handed, but we do get to choose what we do next. If this resonated with you, share it. Share it. Talk about it. Not for the algorithm, but because someone in your life needs to hear it. Everybody needs to hear it and talk about it so that we can change the culture. And leave me a comment. I want to know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you think we should do next, how this makes you feel, how it impacts you. Thank you for having the conversation, for not shutting up or being polite about it.